Well, it does do it automatically. I wasn't 100% sure.
Oh, look at you learning something.
Yeah, I'm pushing buttons for no reason. It just does it by itself.
It's just what we do. We push buttons.
Yeah. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. We come on here and record our podcasts. So how this works is we start the show by reviewing our movie that we previewed last week. We take that week and watch the movie and come back on here and review it. And then after that, we preview a new movie. And then during this upcoming week, we will watch that movie and come back here and review it. Like last week, we previewed Career Opportunities. So we will be reviewing it shortly. Then we are going to preview not one, but two movies in a versus episode. Slumber Party Massacre from 1982 and Slumber Party Massacre from 2021. And if you're wondering, I didn't even know there was a Slumber Party Massacre from 2021. We didn't either. At least I didn't know. I wasn't aware of this movie.
Someone had mentioned it to me, and I was like, oh, they did it again? and that was
She
it.
said with excitement.
Yeah. What? There's another one? Fantastic.
Yeah. And then the next Wednesday we'll review both movies, and then we move on to our new movies, which will be our dry ode to the summer drive-in. We'll start that next Wednesday, sorry. Now, we usually do a clip of like an overall of what we did last week for Career Opportunities, or we do a reaction to the trailer. And as I was trying to work out a schedule of doing this, of setting certain times and to be more efficient, I forgot to do the trailer. But I did pull it up from the actual whatchamacallit here, and you basically said that you think you're gonna like it, but you don't think you're going to love it, and I pretty much said the same. So we'll get our initial thoughts here, and you can go first and I will go, and then I'll do that thing where we roll the opening. So your initial thoughts on Career Opportunities.
This was such a waste of my time. Such a waste. I have never, like, it rivals Steel Dawn, but in a different capacity. But just as shitty.
Yeah. Okay. First, on my initial thoughts, every actor in the movie is great. Not in this movie. Well, that's not fair. They are acting good in this movie, but what starts out as an end to an 80s ride, because yes, it was released in 91, but it was shot in 89. It feels very 80s.
Yes. I
was enjoying the ride for the first little bit, and I wanted the fuck off that ride the last half, at least the last half. And as beautiful and super talented as Jennifer Connelly is, no, she could have rode that mechanical pony nude, and I still would not like this movie. I mean, I would dislike it less. Jennifer Connelly riding that pony nude. Hold on a sec.
It's intermission.
I'll be back in a minute. No.
Now you're just pushing buttons.
Yeah. No, it's wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, roll it.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or your father was right. You were an idiot and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over the top gore? Check. Over embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Dun, dun, dun. He was great.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good job. Better than Career Opportunities did.
Everything's better than Career Opportunities, except for maybe Steel Dawn.
Yeah.
They're both terrible, just in different ways.
Yep, they sure are. Well, I have written here, so now let's go over the movie and see where we can pinpoint where it all went wrong or right. This definitely falls into the latter. Wrong. Or no, is it the... I got that mixed up. It's wrong. It's definitely wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong.
Let's go over this movie.
I just want to start by saying I understand why Hughes wanted to distance himself from it.
Oh, that's in my final score.
It's like, I get it,
Yeah,
but
totally.
it still felt Hughes-like,
Yep.
but like bargain basement Hughes.
Yeah, and I have a theory, and that's I'll
I can't wait. Okay,
yeah.
let's get this party started.
Yeah. All right, Jim Dodge. And again, okay, before we start again, the actors are good. And the
They're just
actors,
good actors.
and before this movie and after this movie, they are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I have a problem with this movie. It's everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Dodge sits talking to dogs he is in charge of temporarily at an animal hospital. We see a gruesome murder scene in Saltburg. Oh, they didn't tell me what friggin' state that was. It doesn't matter. While Jim tells the dogs he knows that murders in Saltburg is the working of the mob in the Midwest. He also pretends he is going on a date with someone international using his jet that night. He is summarily fired for being lazy. Then there are several scenes where Jim talks to kids in town and a waitress, indicating he is pretending to be an important inventor. Then we see Jim asking for a job from a gas station owner, but the station owner feels Jim is full of crap and indicates the entire town feels the same way about him. I wasn't fussy for the opening, but I did love the part with the gas station dude.
That part was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Because they are so few and far between.
Yes.
Because when the movie starts, you don't realize he's talking to dogs. It looks like he's breaking the fourth wall and talking directly to the audience. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh God, fourth wall break. Ooh. And then he turns around and you see the dogs, and the dogs are adorable. So I was like, okay, you're forgiven. And then it was the gas station attendant owner conversation that I was like,
That was good.
this has
Now,
hope.
why did the guy come in chasing him? And how did he lose his clothes from being in the animal hospital and to going out?
I'm choosing not to explore that.
Because it just didn't make sense.
Because he was wearing pants in
Yeah.
the first scene. And then all of a sudden he's pulling up his pants.
Yeah, it was
And
weird.
I was like, what?
It was
what
edited
happened?
weird. Yeah.
I was like, did I fall asleep? Like, I don't understand why your pants were off with the dogs. And then I was like, that's a bad joke.
Yeah. Might have made it more interesting though. But yeah, the gas guy, he's like, I'd hire you if I haven't fired you so many times. Or if
then
yeah,
Jim's like, I'll work for free.
yeah.
And he's like, nope.
Nope.
That's
How
it.
about going to St. Louis? There's like millions of people that don't know you there. Yeah, that
Yeah.
part was good.
Yeah.
Josie McKellen pulls up in her expensive car and gets gas. The amazing Jennifer Connelly.
Mhm.
Then Jim's father confronts Jim and drags him home because he was fired again. I like the dad.
Yeah.
I like the dad yelling at him. It was comforting, like going home for a visit.
True.
At home, Jim is belittled by his whole family for uncountable number of terminations he suffered. Actually, his mom kind of sticks up for him, sort of.
His mom is not as brutal.
Yeah.
His sister is brutal.
Yeah.
His dad is brutal.
Even his little brother's kind of brutal.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
kind of brutal. And then his mom's like, it's okay, sweetie. We still love you. And everybody else is like, no, we don't.
And I can see why, because they kind of tried to make him like this Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
But where Ferris could back up everything he said, this guy was
When Ferris told an outlandish story,
Yeah,
he had lived it.
yeah, in
This
some
guy's
capacity. Yeah,
Yeah, this guy's just making shit up,
yeah,
like,
it's
left,
yeah.
right, and center, and that's one of my big pet peeves with this movie.
Oh fuck.
We never find out why.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's
He's just a liar.
yeah, not just this guy. All the characters. There's
Oh, there is no why.
no
This movie
character.
has no why. Yeah. So
So yeah, and yeah, but and then his dad's telling him he's if he wants staying there, he has to pay rent. I was told the same thing. If I was in school, I had to pay rent.
Oh, yeah. No, in my house, it was if you live here and you're working full time, you're paying rent.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's bargain basement rent. Like, it's not market
Yes.
value.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not that mad about it.
They also discussed Josie McClellan getting fed up with her father and moving to New York, and then Jim argues that he just saw her getting gas. Jim's father secures him an interview at a Target store, but indicates if he does not get the job, he is going to his uncle's shop in St. Louis. Either way, Mr. Dodge wants Jim to move out.
Mhm.
We then get a taste of Mr. McClellan's relationship with his daughter as she pulls a little teasing stunt on two businessmen he is talking to by kissing one and shaking the other's hand, and Mr. McClellan later on threatens to beat the living tar out of her. I understood why he was upset.
So did I.
I probably would have said the same thing
100%.
because that was a little weird.
It was I did not once again, I did not understand why.
No,
It's like she walks in, she meets them, she kisses one, she shakes the hand of the other, and then her dad has a stern talking to with her and threatens to beat her. And I'm
yeah,
like, this I don't what?
yeah.
Like it
Most
just
dads probably would have beat her.
yeah, it was a very I was like, but it was just so weird.
Yeah, and most 50-year-olds in a business meeting with he's the mayor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, would have stopped her from kissing him,
Yes.
especially if they wanted to keep their job.
Yeah, you don't kiss the guy you're trying to I don't wanna say bribe, but I'll say bribe
Yeah,
or convince to bring a foreign, car, manufacturing plant to their
yeah,
town. You don't kiss his daughter when she walks in. Just why?
yeah. It's all weird. Um, so Jim talks to the Target store manager and through his charm convinces the manager to offer him much more money than he actually expected. Jim does not accept the offer and pushes the manager a few thousand above his offer, which they shake hands on. Then the manager is called and told the person he thought he was interviewing for the operations manager position did not make it. The manager then offers Jim the night cleanup boy position at a greatly reduced salary, which the job he came for as the janitor. I think it was like over $4. But I love seeing John Candy.
4.44 an hour.
Yes.
4.44 an hour.
Yeah.
I loved seeing John Candy too.
Yeah. And
It
his
is
part
just
was
him.
fine. His that scene was okay too.
That scene was great.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah. And it was funny because he
Yeah, it's really serious, and they're going back and forth in negotiations, and John Candy is just magic. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, yeah, great scene,
yeah, he was one of my
great scene.
all-time favorite as a kid.
Oh, he's a classic.
Yeah,
He's an
between like
icon.
Uncle Buck and Great Outdoors and Summer, all of them. They were
Okay,
all
I remember Uncle Buck being one of my favorite movies.
yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, and now
Yeah,
I'm
we should.
terrified.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I think
terrified to
that
watch
one's
it again.
still
I
I
feel
would
like that one still holds up.
but yeah, we've said that before.
I know.
John Candy can't be bad. There's
I
no way.
refuse to believe it. I
Like
refuse to
maybe
believe
a
it.
couple of his movies, like The Armed and Dangerous and Who's
Well,
Harry Crumb, they might
well,
not be as good, but not like Uncle Buck and The Great Outdoors and all
yeah.
those. Jim orders a limo to work on his first day, and coincidentally, Josie goes to the Target store and begins to shoplift out in plain view of everyone. Yeah,
Mhm.
his dad's like, "You're rented a limo." He's like, 50, it cost me $50. Jim comes into the store and pretends to be the owner for a minute and tells a clerk to fix a tile in the store. Later on, Jim meets his supervisor who abuses him verbally and a little bit physically, then indicates he will not be in the store during the night and will lock Jim in. I love William Forsythe.
Yes. He's wonderful. I love him.
Yeah, everything that dude is great. Everything he's in, like the movie night might not be great, but he's fantastic.
No, he's he plays a great crazy supervisor in
Oh,
this.
yeah, and
I
his
don't
part's fine too.
I don't know why the supervisor's crazy, but he's like extra crazy,
Yeah,
and I appreciate that
and he
because
pulls
I
it
was like,
off.
"Oh, okay, so this is what we're gonna get. We're gonna get like wacky employees." We did not get wacky employees.
No. Jim comes into the because he goes over the rules. He better be able to eat off the floor in the bathroom. No grazing, meaning no eating the food. And this was one of the weird things that because I actually did go on the internet and did this because he was saying because there were no cameras.
Yep.
Like this would have been the only target in America, even in 1991 or 89 when it was shot, that didn't have security cameras. Like maybe they
Or
turn them off at night, but that makes no sense.
or they did have security cameras,
Or they did have
and they
security
just
cameras.
nobody talked about it.
Yeah,
But
maybe
that
that
was
is.
one of my questions because, like, nobody brings it up. We never see a camera. We don't see any footage from the camera, which would have been a nice, like, thing
Yeah,
at the end of the movie, like, footage of them running around the store, like, something. But no, it's just apparently he gets to run wild in a Target.
and I looked it up because I'm like, no, that can't be right. I'm not. And yeah, in the 70s and 80s, major shopping chains were
Mhm.
starting to put security cameras.
They're not as, like, sharp and great as they are
No,
now. No.
no,
And
they've
you
been those
can't they
grainy
didn't
black
have
and
as
white ones.
many, but
They
they
had
had them.
they had some. But
Yeah.
anyways, even letting that go, it's still okay. Jim comes in the store and pretend. Oh no, I did that. When the door is locked and a supervisor leaves, Jim turns all the lights on and has a good time, sampling all of the store's goods. Jim then sees Josie and has a minor accident. Okay, even this plot. I got this plot off of an audience member off IMDb because it was the most thorough than
Mhm.
any plot out there. But they missed a couple things here. So he does all the cleaning and then looks at the clock and what was it like only 15 or 20 minutes have passed?
Yeah.
And then he calls his mom because he got all these ideas for Christmas gifts and
It's funny though because I think I wrote where is it? I was like cleaning montage, another montage, goofing around, pantyhose display, and then there was another montage. I was like, there's a lot of fucking montages in here. There's like 10
that's
minutes of montage.
there is a lot of montages.
And no matter how much he cleaned, the store was never clean.
No, it was dirty all the time. And he did a
All
lot of
the
cleaning.
time. Yeah.
And then he's wearing that bridal
The
veil.
veil.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then on roller skates.
In his
Sees
shorts.
her and then runs into that display.
Mm-hmm.
She reveals she wanted to get caught shoplifting to get arrested and to embarrass her father and get kicked out of the home or leave home. Then she fell asleep and now is also locked in the store. So they eat store food and find a little place in the store to sit and relax. They talk and she accidentally lets him know that he is known around town as the town liar.
Mm.
He shares honest and sad stories of high school while she laments that her life won't get any better because it peaked in high school. This was John Hughes through and through this part.
100%.
This was my second favorite scene. Totally. I had a total Breakfast Club vibe to it.
See, for me, it fell flat,
Oh,
but I saw its purpose.
yes, exactly.
And I saw the potential. I'm like, I see what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But it still fell flat. Like, it's absolutely
Yes.
terrible. I was almost falling asleep through this entire thing, and I watched it in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
was
I
like-
watched it actually Sunday afternoon or late afternoon, but it wasn't
Yeah.
late.
It wasn't late at night.
And it just got dumber and
Yeah.
dumber and dumber.
There were a couple times I was like, shit, I have to rewind because I think I missed something. Because my eyes stayed closed for entirely too long.
I'm like, when is she gonna ride the pony?
I did not remember that scene at all. So when I finally watched it, I was like, sir, this is what?
Well, it was done. Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
It's
We'll get there.
coming up. Yeah. At one point, he says he likes living at home, and she confronts him that he is lying to himself. She eventually makes him see he really does not like living at home. She asks him to run away from home with her. She mentions going to Los Angeles, which is a switch of destinations for her. I don't know if she said she was going to New York. Well,
I don't think
anyways,
she ever said it.
no. Also, it keeps with the talent these two have that leads these two to where the movie winds up. She asks, how can she make it up for being so cold to him in high school? Okay, so actually, and he tells her some stories that they actually danced together.
Mhm.
And what happened? Fuck, I can't even remember.
Something happened to interrupt the dance.
Yeah, and yeah.
I don't
And
remember what
then
it was.
she asks how she can make it up for being so cold to him in high school. And then he surprises her by choosing to finish a dance he had with her in the 7th grade. She lets him know she was expecting him to want sex. I don't think she actually said that, and was willing to go all the way. I think this person is projecting a lot, but
Is
it
this
kind of
fan
led.
fiction?
Yeah. However, he is wrapping his mind around these events and says first things first. So it yeah, maybe, but he doesn't
Well, I
deserve
think
her.
she alludes to sexy times,
Yeah. And he
and
doesn't
he's like,
deserve her.
"We're gonna dance."
No one deserves Jennifer Connelly.
Honestly, I forgot what her body used to look like because I'm so used to like grown up Jennifer Connelly, who's on the slimmer side.
Yeah, and I just watched, what was she in? Maverick, the Top Gun movie.
Oh yeah.
She's still, oh my God.
No, she's still absolutely
But yes, she is
stunning,
a lot thinner. She was
but
a
she is
little,
a lot thinner and a lot firmer.
yeah,
She was softer and fuller when she was younger, and I just wasn't used to seeing her body like that. So it's jarring because I'm like your jaw is so soft. You know, your
yes.
waist, you're just a little fuller. She looks lovely.
Now, see, if
Let's
I
be super
said
clear.
exactly what you just said, everyone would go, oh, fucking creepy.
Well, I wouldn't be
I
like,
probably, yeah, my tone would be different. Yeah.
yeah, your tone would be a lot like
You look so
scuzzier.
pretty.
See? Whereas if I say, "You look so pretty."
Yeah.
See the difference? See the
Yeah.
difference? Yeah. I'm
You've
not
got,
creepy. You are.
you've got real pretty hair.
Oh god, that was
Yeah.
terrible. Don't do that ever again.
I see the difference. Um,
Anyways.
she slow dances with him, and when he finally gets the nerve to try a kiss, she moves her lips right there for a gentle and lasting kiss. They
Mm.
appear to go further in a tent when an officer comes to the outside of the store. Okay. We actually got to see it's Mr. McKellen and the officer. I don't think the officer had a name. Did he? I don't think so.
Officer Dawn.
Officer Don. That's it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to see a bit of them before this.
Yes, there were a few short stops,
Yeah.
where basically Mr. McClellan is like, "Where's my daughter?"
Yeah.
And the officer's like, "Did
I
you
don't
guys
know.
have a fight?" And he's like, "What does that have to do with finding my daughter?" And I'm like, "Oh god, it's gonna be one of these." It was
And both these guys, Noble Willingham is the dad. I
Mhm.
remember from a bunch of things, but Barry Corbin is Officer Don.
Yes.
What an awesome actor he is. And
He's
he's
been in everything and he's so good.
so funny playing the straight, no nonsense guy.
Yes.
And he's still working. He did 30 some odd episodes of The Ranch on Netflix. He did Yellowstone, a few episodes of the Sylvester Stallone's Tulsa King that just came out.
Mm.
And he was the best part of that Charlie Sheen show after 2.5 Men, Anger Management, where he played like
Oh,
the
right.
old mean racist guy. He was awesome.
I love him. He also
Yeah.
plays a really great cantankerous, like, curmudgeon. I love him so much.
And
So
he's
when I
done
saw him, I was like,
serious
"Ooh."
stuff too. But
Yes.
yeah, and he wasn't in it a lot. But yeah, he's done like No Country for Old Men. He's done, I looked on his IMDb page, 230 movies and TV shows.
He is an absolutely incredible actor,
Yeah.
and I like him. Now, Noble Willingham, also talented.
Yeah.
Hated him in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Very one-dimensional, very, like, not like he's yelling, but you're not made uncomfortable or you're not afraid of him. It's just volume, you know?
It looked like he phoned it in.
Yeah. Yeah. This
And
was
after you see the movie, you can see why.
I wanna pay off my mortgage a year
Yeah.
early kinda thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so chances are, if you're wondering who Officer Dawn, if you see Officer Dawn in this movie, chances are you've seen this guy in a bunch of
Mhm.
things. The officer lets Jim know that he, the lone policeman in town, is searching for Josie McKellen alongside of Josie's father. Josie and Jim, after roller skate through the store, their fun is interrupted by two criminals who murdered someone in Saltburg. Josie and Jim hide, but are captured by the two crooks. Again, I get it. I guess they didn't want to do Breakfast Club,
Mm.
but there's just nothing here. Like,
There's a lot of elements of Breakfast Club, but none of the depth.
yeah, and these robbers, it's just, again,
feel
both
like-
of them are great actors. I forgot about the brother,
Yes. Kieran, yeah.
Dermot Mulroney, you see all the time.
They're great actors.
Yeah.
And they're great as kind of tweakers in this. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what they are. Because they're just a little off the rocker, and I like it. But nothing meshes in this movie.
No,
Like
they
nothing makes sense.
they needed a backstory or a character exploration,
They need something.
because
it's
where
just a collection
nothing
of
worked in
scenes.
Breakdown for the villains,
Mm,
it did not work in this type of movie. This was
Yeah.
not that type of movie to try and
for villains and for the heroes.
yeah.
Like I feel like this was a collection of scenes from very different movies, just kind of put together.
Yeah.
So it was very discombobulating.
Now at a point when it looks like Josie will be murdered by one of the crooks, I don't think it got that. Jim jumps into action pretending he's talking to people on the outside who have guns aimed at the two crooks. He is so
Mhm.
convincing at pretending that they give up their guns and lay on the floor. However, these crooks lie about the guns not being loaded, and Jim gives them back their loaded guns. Josie then reveals to Jim that she plans to steal the crook's car, which they stole from someone else earlier, and tells Jim to go along with her. Josie, like Jim, is very good at pretending, and she flirts with one of the crooks. She eventually has one crook mesmerized with her as a pretend interest, and she jumps into the car and drives off quickly while they shoot at her. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, they missed the best scene of the whole movie.
Yeah.
But he offers them food and like pogos, doesn't he?
Yes.
And then
Although
she
because
says,
this takes place in the States, it's a corn dog.
corn dog, right?
Yeah.
And she says to him, I am going to distract them. And I was guessing that was for him to get away while she distracts them. And then she rides the pony ride. And as much as I enjoy watching Jennifer Connelly ride a mechanical pony in a tight white tank top, it didn't make a lot of sense because he didn't get away. He sat there with the other two, just watching her ride.
I don't know if it was I'm going to distract them so you can get away, or I'm going to distract them so
Yeah.
that they'll go along with what I say.
Could have
I
been,
don't
yep.
I don't know which one I don't know what none of it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, you're just trying to figure out a way to get Jennifer Connelly on that mechanical pony.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
get a way to get Dermot Mulroney on that mechanical pony.
Yeah. I didn't like that part. Get out of there, Dermot Mulroney. You
Damn it.
Jeez, you're ruining it.
Yeah, but there was one point because they like tightened the shot, and I was like, I know what this looks like.
Yeah.
Does
But it
not
shouldn't
look
have been
they're
the other
riding
way
mechanical
around.
pony. Not necessarily.
No, I guess not. I'm just a stickler.
You and your rigid rules.
But she seduces Nestor, which is Dermot Mulroney, and
Mhm.
becomes one of the gang. Jim seems to totally forget that they had a plan to steal the car, that's what she was going to do. And he gets like quite upset.
Yeah.
And she's
Well-
even trying to send him multiple messages like with her eyes and he's just mad.
Well, because he just watched her ride a mechanical pony after inviting Dermot Mulroney, Mr. Nestor Pyle with the unibrow. She invited him up there.
Yes,
To sit with her on the mechanical pony.
but she did say to them, this is what I'm going to do. And we're going to steal a car. Well, she didn't say I was going to ride the mechanical pony with them, but
Yeah. I'm going to flirt with them so hard and have it almost look like I'm riding him, not the pony.
Yeah.
Like, and poor Jim's thinking, we had a moment.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you,
We
Josie.
were
I
in the
thought we had
tent, and
something."
now you're just gonna nest her? Really? Unibrow guy? Hmm?
When Jim hears the car driving off, he immediately gets the store shotgun that was locked in the cabinet, and pretending to be scared, he uses the store announcement microphone to get the crooks to go where he wants them. The crooks follow his lure and wind up inches from the barrier of his shotgun as he blasts away. He's fucking lucky that they came over the counter like that. If they would have come at
Yeah.
him from any other angle or direction, he was fucked.
Yep.
Josie, knowing that Jim could easily subdue these crooks, happily returned with her bags packed and the stolen car. How the fuck did she know?
She didn't.
Even by her own account, he was a fuck up.
Yeah.
Even by
He-
her own sight, he was. What's the word?
I was like,
he's
I
not
don't
a
know.
man's man like I am.
I'm more of a man's man than you are.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
But
This was so stupid.
ignoring toxic masculinity. No, because they don't actually talk about what the whole plan is other than I'm going to steal their car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she didn't
I don't,
actually say she was coming back.
yeah, she didn't say she was coming back. She didn't say I'm going to have them so enamored with me that I'm going to steal the car and that's your cue to get the shotgun that I don't know exists.
Yeah.
And fight your way out.
Yeah.
Also, the shotgun only had 2 shells in it.
Yeah, there are a lot of shots.
There were a
being
lot of
fired.
shots.
Yeah.
I highly doubt he has like a box of ammunition next to him and he's just reloading.
I think he grabbed a couple. I think he did. But they also had guns, and the time it takes to crank it, take
Yeah.
the shells out, put the shell. Yeah. Like, and she
There's a
didn't even
ton
go
of
get the police or anything.
No, she just came back. She went for a little joyride and then she came back and she was like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, she should have came back and saw him like pressed against like the inside sliding door, all body riddled with bullets and bleeding and dead. Showed her riding a pony
would've
with
made-
Nestor.
That's what she did.
In the morning, the policeman apparently Bob,
Mm,
apparently Don, sorry, policeman officer Don, apparently answering a tip, comes into the store to find the crooks tied up with their wanted posters attached. Jim and Josie take a last tour of the town in a limo and then go to Hollywood, California to try out their pretending acting talent, I guess. The last scene is Jim and Josie by the pool looking at the Hollywood sign, which Jim sees as Jim would, while Josie laughs. This was one of the worst endings.
but I have never been so excited for an ending in my
Ugh.
life.
Actually, the worst second half of a movie. I could fucking at
Half,
least like
3/4.
Yeah, like at least Leprechaun was shitty from start to finish.
Because in the beginning you can see what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
You see kind of the glimmers of the potential of it, and you're like, okay, well maybe they get their shit together. Because right now we're off to a mess start. Like it's fine, but it's not great. But I'm like, maybe it gets good. It does not get good.
it doesn't even get okay.
What? This is literally what I wrote. Because this is terrible. This was my collecting my thoughts. So boring, I almost fell asleep. Felt aimless. Just a little weird. I don't know. I'm perplexed.
Like Steel Dawn. I know we use Steel Dawn a lot, but even it didn't try to tease you with a good movie.
No, Steel Dawn showed you what it was right
Yeah,
up
right-
front.
Right at
They're
the
like,
beginning. Shit.
this is what we're giving you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't
Enjoy
expect
it or
any
don't.
more.
Yeah.
Don't expect any less. It's
But
just gonna be
and you
shitty.
could tell like the people in Steel Dawn were taking it serious. There was a storyline.
Yeah, and actually
That
storyline
made
that kind of
sense.
made sense. Yeah.
It was terrible, but it made sense. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't completely it's like I told you, it felt like scenes from a bunch of different movies kind of shoved together to make this movie.
And what about the side plot? Like a Jim's dad waking up and just eating throughout
What
the
the
movie.
fuck was that? He's just eating through the fridge. First
Yeah.
it started with the fried chicken and peanut butter,
Yeah.
and then he's like busting open an Oscar Mayer luncheon meat pack, and I'm like, "Sir,
Yeah.
why are you sitting at your kitchen table?"
Yeah,
Just
and
eat
it
in
was
the
like all
fridge.
night.
Yeah.
For those listening, Jim's dad wakes up, has a snack, and then throughout the entire movie is just seen eating and eating until he ends up at the diner with Josie's dad.
Mm.
I did like that one line when they're driving the Josie's dad and Officer Don, and he's like when he asks if the officer has any kids, and he's like, no, after spending the night with you, listening to all the shit your kid does, I'm kind of glad my wife's sterile.
I remember that line. I was like, oh, that's good. And then
Oh
that's it.
yeah, there were a couple
The
decent
yeah.
good scenes. There were a couple good scenes. There were some funny scenes, but it just
Okay, so when I was in high school, okay, in my grade 13 drama class, we had to put on an anthology because the theme for the year was anthologies. So we had to put on a performance of an anthology to the entire like school and parents and whatever. People bought tickets. And so basically you just collect a bunch of scenes that seem to have nothing in common and you basically build kind of the connector. So I played the connector who was a weird like alien obsessed kid who it's a weird story. Anyways, this feels like my grade 13 performance.
yeah.
And it's just a bunch of random shit shoved together. Look, our performance was amazing and we did very well. And my friend Kiara let me hold her Mulder action figure for the performances. She wouldn't let me take it out of the box though. It was very it was like a whole thing. Hey Kiara, I highly doubt she's listening to this, but I really hope she does. Anyway, our performance as a bunch of like 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds made more sense than this movie.
Yeah.
The collection of scenes made more sense. This just felt super forced and had no real connector. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this.
No. Do you remember Little Joe
Yes,
from
little
Louis?
Joe.
Do you remember that short film we shot?
Oh
That
my,
made more sense than that mafioso one.
oh my, remember that? Oh shit.
And it
Oh
didn't make a lot of sense,
yeah, but
but it
look,
made more sense in this movie.
uh, Big Joe's projects made more sense in this movie.
Yeah, and that's scary.
That's scary. That's terrifying. But yeah, no, this movie just it felt super I feel like there's a nugget of a good movie in this,
Yep,
but they
absolutely.
buried it.
Yeah, and I have my theory, but what's your how you lay your score on me?
You know? Excuse me. Going down with a little something. Um, I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5. It is somewhere between appallingly horrible and atrocious. But it does have glimmers. The reason why I brought it up to 2 it does have glimmers of nostalgia, and there are certain moments that you're like, "Oh, yeah, this feels very 80s," or "This feels very vintage," or "This feels like this could be part of a good movie." There are some moments, but
Yeah,
overall, it's just a hot mess of a movie
yeah,
that almost put me to sleep.
yeah. And what about that lady, that review? I don't know if it was a lady or a guy that had the review where it was 10 out of 10, and my favorite John Hughes movie ever. Yes, seriously. And I was thinking about that when I was watching it. I'm like, seriously? Like off the top of my head, Weird Science, 60 Candles,
Yeah.
Breakfast Club, fucking Curly Sue, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, and Omelet. That's just your favorite?
Yeah, no. Unless she was just super high, super
Yeah.
drunk, or super unconscious.
Okay. Well, here's my theory. Okay.
Hit me.
And we conclude this as my could it be rebooted? Because as no, fuck no, it should never be rebooted. We should never see the light of day. I think John Hughes, because he still wrote and produced and directed after this movie, he didn't just fizzle out. He made quite a few more movies after this. I think he made a spiritual sequel to Breakfast Club, and by made, I mean he wrote, because he didn't direct this. He wrote it and produced it. And it was a kind of like a goodbye letter or movie to the 80s. And while Breakfast Club dealt with the teen and that different type of teens trying to get by, I think the original script, and this is just a theory, was more about not being a teen anymore and having to grow up and go face the world and as an adult. That's what I was getting while I was watching, when they were watching the TV and he was smoking the cigar and they were going over each other's, because that had that Breakfast Club
Yeah.
vibe. They should have had more people in this, like night workers. Like,
Yes.
and the robbers somehow should have got locked in. They shouldn't have been murderers. They should have just been thieves. And then through the course of the night and talking, everyone let them out and tried to help them get away. That type of
I think it would have
idea.
been very different as an ensemble.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very different.
I was hoping there were more, not just those two.
Yeah.
But instead we got this dumpster fire. That was all right for like the first 30 minutes, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
And then just said, fuck it. We're doing this robber thing that makes no sense.
We're gonna do everything, just shove it all in there.
Yeah, the fact that she left, she knew Jim could handle two murdering gangsters. Jim is a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
There was nothing from this movie that suggests Jim could pull off an ending like this. The whole
yeah, no.
thing, the last half killed it for me. Like, yeah, what was the dad eating for? Like, have him saying he was struggling with the idea of kicking his son out and wanting him to stay and help him, and that's why he was eating. But there was nothing.
No,
And
he
then
was just woken up by a phone call,
yeah,
and then he went to
decided
eat.
My father beats me, and then he threatened to beat her. But there was nothing really, nothing really explored by
Yeah.
that part. And then he was out there looking for her, and he did get the only police officer in town to go on a manhunt for her.
Yeah.
All this could have been explored. Drop the robber thing, or at least drop the murder thing. I totally get why John Hughes wanted off this fucking thing.
100%.
Again,
100%.
yeah, again, all the actors, and I mean all of them, are fantastic, and they acted fine in this movie. It's just I don't know who to blame. I can't believe what we saw was the actual original script.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because it was made and this way it was released. So what the fuck? This movie can go sit in the corner with Leprechaun. I give it a 3.
Solid.
And that was because it had okay first little bit. And if I were to watch either of those movies again, it'd be like, do I want to watch Jennifer Connelly or looking hot, or do I want to watch Jennifer Aniston looking hot in a shitty movie? This movie sucked so bad. I was so disappointed.
See, Leprechaun I managed to stay awake through, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
This movie actually started putting me to sleep. I had to rewind because I was like, oh crap, my last blink was a full 2 minutes. Why are we in a different scene?
Yeah.
Rewind. Like, I don't fall asleep
No.
watching
no.
movies in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't fall asleep, but I was like, how much more dumb can this movie get?
Oh, it was reaching for the stars, let me tell
Yeah.
you.
It was, yeah. Why I liked it initially, I really think I thought it was just okay back then, now that I've seen it again. And I probably enjoyed Jennifer Connelly riding the pony a little too much back. But I'd like to think deep down I knew it sucked, and that's why I didn't try finding it to watch it again.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was when I was enamored with the 80s time.
Yeah.
I was listening to a
maybe.
lot of 80s music because this movie does feel very 80s. Yes, it came out in 91, but it still felt very end of the 80s.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of put rose-colored glasses on me when I was watching it the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jennifer Connelly's so cool. I'd love to get locked in a Target.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
As long as there weren't no fucking cameras, which there probably would. There would
Yeah.
be, not probably. There would be.
True story. But yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, if you liked it, then you should. Skip it.
Oh, yeah. Skip it. Skip it.
Not if you liked it back then. Skip it. Watch the meme of Jennifer Connelly on the pony. I've checked it. You can go to YouTube. There are tons of just that scene on YouTube.
What a surprise. Shocking.
And if you can find the John Candy, because John Candy's always fun to watch. But yeah, no, skip this. Like if you've never seen it, skip it. There's
Don't put yourself through it.
no.
There is no reason.
And we usually say skip it, but if or what
Yeah.
but yeah, no, there's
No,
no
if it comes on
but if.
TV, keep changing the channel. Don't
Yeah.
stop.
No,
Just don't waste your time.
do not. It sucks and it's a total letdown. Don't bother. I paid for this. Someone owes
Me
me
too.
$5. Can we get John Hughes Estate on the line? Fuck. Yeah, you paid for it too. I couldn't
Yeah.
find it anywhere.
I couldn't find it for free. I couldn't find it on any streaming service for free, like included in it. So I
and
was
at
like,
the-
fine.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, okay, so I'm gonna pay. I think it was $4. But
I
anyways,
paid
I'm like,
$4.99. Yeah.
whatever. It's still a comedy from 1991. How bad can it be?
Same thought.
Like, oh my God, Weekend at Bernie's. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Encino Man. I would pick those movies. I would watch those movies 10 times in a row before I watch this movie again.
Same. Well, especially because I liked Encino Man. But same.
Could it be rebooted or reimagined today? I already said before about
It could be, but don't.
No,
We don't need it.
no.
We don't need it.
The 80s have come and gone. You had your chance.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't. There's a way. I'm pretty sure they've already done it. Like people locked in a store overnight,
Yeah.
getting to know each other. That's good. That you don't need anymore.
Yeah. No, no. All right. So okay.
So
Yeah.
never do this again. No
No.
more career opportunities.
Yeah. All right. So if you're watching this live, this means that it's intermission time. And when we come back, we are going back to 1982. We're going to look at some stuff from pop culture and because we're going to be checking out Slumber Party Massacre from 82 and 2021. All right. We'll
It's
be
an
back.
exciting time.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right over to our refreshment center for the most extravagant array of refreshment goodies ever assembled under one roof. Enjoy breathtaking, mouth-watering goodies, everything from a snack to a delicious full meal. At our refreshment center, you'll find a large variety of goodies to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, or your sweet tooth. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Visit our refreshment center now. The show starts in 3 minutes. The show starts in 2 minutes. show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
All right. Welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. This is the part of the live show that is next. That is just on the live show. The next little bit gets cut from the actual podcast. Well, most of it does. We include a bit of it. Some of it will end up as clips on the YouTube Shorts, Reels, or Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts. Yeah, TikTok, whatever. But it won't actually be on the podcast. So let's talk a little about 1982. Now, I wanted to try something different, and then I did that. I added it to this, and then I emailed you about, there's Slumber Party Massacre night 2021.
Yep.
So I'm like, I have to drop something. So I dropped the actual headlines from September 1982.
Okay.
Only because the chances of us going back to September 1982 are high, because the movies that were out that month were An Officer and a Gentleman, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Friday 13th Part 3, The Beastmaster, Rocky 3, Amityville 2, Poltergeist, The Road Warrior. So there's a good chance that we will come back here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get in 2021. We don't have to get it. That was 2 fucking years ago. Not even. It was a pandemic. It sucked. We know what it was like. But let's get into a 1982 mood with This is Vintage 1982.
Ooh.
This is just overall. I'm going to do this for every year that we do. Just an overall feel. Michael Jackson's groundbreaking album Thriller was released in 1982.
I have that on vinyl.
Yeah, we've been to 1982
We have.
because we have talked about this. Yeah. It was awesome. The breakup of AT&T monopoly was ordered by the government. The first episode of Late Night with David Letterman debuts on NBC, and Bill Murray was the first guest.
Shit.
The popular science fiction film E.T. the Extraterrestrial debuts during June of 1982. Disney's futuristic park Epcot experimental community. Oh, get off there, you.
Of tomorrow.
That's it. Is opened. Times Man of the Year is The Computer.
Dum, dum, dum.
In 1982, the average cost of a new house, $82,000. Average monthly rent, $320. Cost of a gallon of gas, 91 cents. New car average price, $7,900.
Jiminy Crickets.
Oh, that's just a blank screen.
Yeah, it is.
Loaf of white bread, 50 cents. Pound of tomatoes, 39 cents. A bag of cheese puffs, 89 cents. Bag of chips, $2.40. And I was like, well, that's not that great. It was a 16-ounce it's like our family size bags.
The stuff that costs us $6 down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cereal in the 80s, especially 82. You had Strawberry Shortcake, Donkey Kong, E.T. And if you look, you could get a prize in every box. Remember the prizes in the cereal boxes?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore because they're choking hazards, because people don't realize if it doesn't look like cereal, you're not supposed to put it in your mouth.
Yeah. Then you deserve to die. We need to thin the herd. Walking jogging machine, i.e. treadmill. $200.
Oof.
Commodore Vic, which is pictured up there, $300, $299.95. A
Wow.
GMC 1500 pickup, $5,400. which blew my mind. The Sony 19-inch color TV, and that is it right there. $499. You can get a 50-inch TV for that. I know TVs were expensive back in the day. Like there was a reason why there
Yeah.
wasn't one in every room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got lucky. I got handed down my parents' black and white one because they got a new one for the living room. They got the old one in their room, and I got the little about that size black and white one with the
I think we
rabbit
put our
ears.
new TV on the old TV because the
On-
old TV was big enough to be a TV stand.
Yeah, well, one of those floor models.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was well because it was literally from like 1971 when my
Yeah,
parents bought the
no,
house.
we had one of those too.
Like
Thing
we
was
had the wired
huge.
remote too,
Oh yeah,
like the big like panel thing. Yeah, we had that too.
Big price Fisher Price tape recorder manufactured by Pritchard blah blah. It's $45. Has a
Wow.
built-in microphone, large carrying handle. Bean bags were huge, 20 to $40. Okay, so some of the biggest songs: The Human League with "Don't You Want Me," Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder, Ebony and Ivory. Olivia Newton-John physical album was released in 91, but it was all over 1982, and she released the greatest hits 2 and 3 in 92.
You mean in 82?
Yeah, that's it. 82. Sorry. Yeah. Steve
Okay.
Miller Band with Abracadabra.
Love that
Survivor
song.
with Eye of the Tiger.
Great song.
Chicago with Hard to Say I'm Sorry. And
Mhm.
Lionel Richie's debut solo album, 4 times platinum, was in
Wow.
1982. The books, Jane Fonda's workout book, was #1 for 28 weeks. Not in a row.
Jesus.
It was like 6 weeks. Then a new book came out and bumped
Mm.
her for a couple weeks. Then she became #1 again, bumped #1 again. Space by James Michener, Master of the Game, Sidney Sheldon, Different Seasons, Stephen King, The Prodigal Daughter, Jeffrey Archer. And then there were like ones that like 2010, Odyssey 2 by Arthur C. Clarke, Battle for the Earth, which became a great movie by L. Ron Hubbard in the 2000s or 1990s. I remember liking that movie.
I don't think I
John
even watched
Travolta.
it because
No.
I refused to support Scientology. So I was like, nope, peace out. We're not doing that.
Yeah, and that's it for 1992 looking. But to help us get into a special, I have 3. I don't remember these commercials,
Oh.
but the feel of them I remember.
Hungry? Aren't you? Aren't you hungry? Come on.
Aren't you hungry for Burger King now?
Wouldn't you like a sizzling Whopper? Flame broiled hot with melted cheese. Veal Parmesan with mozzarella. Chicken like you please.
Aren't you hungry?
Aren't you?
Aren't you hungry? Aren't you hungry for Burger King now?
Aren't you hungry?
Aren't you?
I could go for a Whopper.
I was watching that when I first got. I'm like, I could go for a fucking Whopper. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Same.
This one just because it's funny, and if you spot our friend.
Just in case you're feeling outnumbered at noon. Just in case you meet your new in-laws. Just in case all eyes are pinned on you. You got your Dial.
Dial, the leading deodorant soap, has twice the active ingredient of the #2 brand. Twice as much. For confidence all day long.
Maybe you can hold it.
Aren't you glad you used Dial?
William Zabka.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, is that him? So young, so small, so thin.
And this is because we like their show.
Hey, Victoria. We know your secret for beautiful hair.
Sure, it's Germac. Just look at my hair. It's so clean, bouncy, healthy looking. That's because every Germac shampoo, every instant conditioner, every special conditioner is professionally formulated to meet your hair's special needs. My hair never looked better, never performed better.
Thank goodness the Germac secret's no secret anymore.
Try Germac. It's my trade secret for beautiful hair.
So fancy, Victoria Principal.
Yeah. Is it just me, or did the commercials, even the commercials back then, seemed better,
Um,
more fun, not edgy, definitely not edgy.
no, it was definitely a lot of fun, lighthearted. Don't you
Yeah,
want to be these people? Not we want to show you in this commercial. Like, like now advertising tries to reflect society.
yeah,
Back then, commercials were like, this is the ideal,
yeah. This is what you
this is
want.
what you want.
Yeah,
And to get there, buy the soap,
yeah.
which makes no sense. But I
No,
mean, we bought into it.
I had to stop myself because I just started watching. It was just they were hour-long videos of and they had it was before a show started and in between, like, so it was like Love Boat and all
Hmm.
those type of shows in between this stuff. I was like, I had to stop myself because I was just wasting time. Yeah, okay. So, okay. We're not gonna do top song, not gonna do the box office. Okay, we're not gonna do box office because there was no box office.
Mm,
This it did go to theaters, but it didn't follow. It did more limited stuff, like kind of like what Friday 13th did, just wherever they
yeah.
could put it and make money. It had a $220,000 budget and it made 300 just over almost $3.5 million.
Oh, nice.
So
They did well.
okay, so let's go to let's go to some party stuff. So what I'm going to ask, because what we're going to do is that I post all the trivia stuff like this on Twitter and Instagram, but
Hmm.
I can't put it on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube because it's just clips of words.
Yeah.
So why don't we take turns reading each one, and then I can use them as clips.
Okay.
So you can go first. The first few are
Okay.
1982.
All right.
Can you
So,
read that all right?
yeah,
Okay.
Rita Mae Brown wrote a screenplay for a parody of teen slasher flicks and titled it Sleepless Nights. However, when she submitted it to the producers, they filmed it as if it weren't a parody and retitled it Slumber Party Massacre. As a result, the movie displays a lot more humor, both intended and unintended, than others of this genre. So basically, a bunch of male producers mansplained
Yeah.
her own screenplay to her. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay. Amy Holden Jones is not very sympathetic to people who complain that she's a sellout to her gender as a woman who produced an exploitation flick with a lot of naked girls in it. That's what this is her speaking. That's what Roger Corman, the producer, wanted. And that's how it's done. You give the studio what they want. Nobody complains that Scorsese, Jonathan Demme, and Ron Howard made exploitation pictures, but when a woman tries, she gets called a hypocrite and turncoat. That's bullshit. It should be noted that Holden Jones has parlayed this into a successful film career, producing such hits as Mystic Pizza and The Getaway.
Mystic Pizza is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I think she wrote that as well. She only directed 4 movies,
Yeah.
and one is called Made to Order with Ali Sheedy that I kind of remember from 87. She's a rich girl who gets in trouble and then she's forced to be a maid.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that should go
I
on our
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, me too. And it has a lot of actors from the 80s.
Let's put it on the list.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I went back. Oh, there we go.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
In a 2018 interview, Brinky Stevens, I think I said that right,
I think
talked
so.
about doing nude scenes in this and other films. Early in my career, nudity was simply the rule, what was expected of us. We just went along with it because we wanted to work. I've never been shy about nudity. She was a nude model before she started acting. Good thing, too. My willingness to undress landed me a lot of good roles and helped me get better noticed by fans. However, I was never comfortable doing explicit love scenes with a guy, so I tended to turn down these kinds of parts. In almost every case, the directors have been very good about asking non-essential personnel to leave the set, and we were treated respectfully.
I thought
Kinda
that
nice.
was nice.
Yeah. Well, no, because sometimes, especially for nudity, they won't clear the set. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, "It's just your tits, like, whatever." And
Yeah.
they're like, do you mind?"
And I find, not that I'm an expert at this, but I find that horror movies, more lower budget ones, the
Mhm.
directors and the crew and producers seem to be a lot more sensitive. And when
Yeah.
you get to the bigger ones, the directors and the producers kind of become pricks. Not everybody, but
Well, when there's a smaller crew and there's a smaller, like, production staff, it's they have, the ability to take more care
yeah.
of their crew and their cast.
Yep. Composer Ralph Jones is the director's brother. He recorded the entire score on a small Casio synthesizer.
Amazing.
Which makes me go, "Oh my god, this is awesome."
I'm
It's gonna
totally
sound
gonna pay
awesome.
attention to the score now. I have a friend who started a whole thing. She got a synthesizer and now she writes odes to certain like ideas or people or like times, and she posts them and edits a whole video to it. It's incredible. It's amazing.
I wonder
Anyways.
how small this Casio was, because I think those little ones you got as a kid.
Yeah, they're literally like just like a foot long.
Yeah, they're not very big at all.
No,
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
it's amazing. The overhead shots in the gym before Linda's attack were achieved by having the cameraman on top of a cherry picker because the film had a low budget and the crew couldn't afford a camera crane. Well, shit, we even had a camera crane in school.
Yeah. That wasn't 1982 though.
This is true.
According to the director, Amy Holden Jones, the movie was originally supposed to clock in at about 90 minutes. Considering that the film only runs for 76 minutes, there was a different ending. We reshot to punch it up. It must have been lame because I can't remember it. I think it was the same, but without the pool. We ruined that pool with the reshoot, but it was fun. Like
Brinky
another
Stevens.
Brinky.
Brinky. I'm assuming it's Brinky. Brinky Stevens said in an interview that during the shower scene, she had no problem being nude, but several of the other girls put tape over their nipples so the director couldn't use shots of their breasts. That's why only the bare backs of most of them are shown. Sorry. No, I'm thinking back to this one short film that I worked on. I was doing continuity and there was a shower scene, and the actor, because it was done in a real bathroom, not on set. So it was literally like the camera guy, the director in the bathroom, and the actor. And then all of
Mm.
us were outside around a monitor. Well, his bits were not in the viewfinder. However, the monitor was bigger. So we all saw
Oh.
his bits. Um, and when he came out, I didn't say anything. But eventually it got back to him that we could see what was on his bits on the screen. So he came up to me, he's like, "Could you see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's not gonna be on film, like, you're good." And he was like, "Okay, but I need you to know it was really cold in there." Okay, because we couldn't use hot water because it would just fog everything up. So
Fog
it was
everything up.
really, really cold. You need to know. So I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, that's one thing you kind of forget, that because the hot in the shower and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Unless they want that in like a horror movie. Other than that, it's cold water.
yeah, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Act natural. Oh, okay. Fuck. All right. Amy Holden Jones, a film editor, wanted to direct and asked Francis Dole, a writer and story editor associated with Roger Corman. This is a Roger Corman movie, for advice. Dole gave Jones a number of scripts. Jones chose the script that would become the Slumber Party Massacre, then going by the title of Don't Open the Door, and decided to film the first 3 scenes. Her husband, cinematographer Michael Chapman, acquired equipment and film and hired actors from the University of California, LA, and they shot the scenes at their house over a weekend for $1,000. She showed the result to Roger Corman, who then agreed to finance the film.
That is some great ingenuity right there.
Yeah.
The original ending had the killer killed in the living room, but Roger Corman dug the film and gave Amy Holden Jones a little extra cash to write and reshoot a bigger ending.
I would
Right
have
on,
loved
Roger,
to
thank you.
I would have loved to see some of the just the mindset of Roger Corman. Because
Right?
I love a lot of his movies, but he must have been just a character that's like Deborah de Liso.
Liso?
Later left acting and became a teacher. Every semester, she had male students tell her they saw her nude scene in this movie and then looked directly at her chest while smiling. She didn't let it bother her, but hated it that other male teachers did the same. I could definitely see this being a problem, especially in a movie that every teenage kid's
I
going to
can
want to
tell you,
watch.
I can tell you right now, if I was her, I would be in jail because the first little fucker that did that, I'm popping them in the mouth with my fist. First teacher who did that, straight to
Yeah.
the throat. Done. And I'm in jail for assault. Can't teach kids anymore.
Thus ends Anna's teaching career. It's your turn.
Oh, sorry. No, you froze for a hot second, so I was like,
Oh, sorry.
where are we? So as with an early topless scene, Amy Holden Jones points out that the shower. I'm gonna start that over again. As with an early topless scene, Amy Holden Jones points out that the shower sequence was a requirement from Roger Corman. She shot it very by the numbers just to tick the boxes. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah. So Roger Corman's like, horror movie, gotta have a shower scene.
Yeah. And
And
Amy's
there's-
like, fuck you. We're doing the bare minimum.
Scream Queen, I get a Brinky Stevens, said that she spent 45 minutes in a parking lot with the sound guy screaming into a microphone for her off-screen death scene that ended up helping her perfect the art of screaming, which she used throughout her career. If you go to IMDb and put Brinky Stevens in,
Yeah.
just the title of these horror movies is couple were familiar, but yeah, she definitely got really into horror movies.
It was filmed in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's fucking impressive.
It's Roger Corman. That was probably a long shoot.
True.
Actress Gina Mary refused to show her breasts when they were filming the scene where she's in the car making out with her boyfriend and he starts fondling her. Frustrating and not having time to hire a body double, director Amy Holden Jones offered to pay any of the other actresses extra money if they would let her film a close-up of their bare breasts while the actor rubbed them. Michelle Michael, who had no issue with nudity, immediately volunteered. Even though Marie avoided having to be naked, she said later that her friends and family thought she did after seeing the film, which caused some awkward conversations. So
No,
even though
that's
you
not my
didn't,
titty.
yeah,
That was my friend, Michelle. That was her titty. It wasn't my titty.
don't you think? Wouldn't they? Well, I guess it's 1982. Wouldn't they have that in your contract, like no nudity, or maybe it was
That's
just
super adorable that you think that.
yeah.
First of all, having that in your contract basically meant that you didn't work in the 80s. And the only
That's true.
people who could have that in their contract were literally the biggest movie stars.
But I thought it was cool of the director saying, "Okay, I'll just get. Does anyone want to show their boobies? I got
Yeah.
some money here," and was willing to work around it. Oh, I went the wrong way.
Michael Villella said that he shaped his character's look and movement after a peacock. I'm going to look out for that now.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means, but I'm definitely going to look out for.
Yeah.
Deborah DeLiso said the other actresses grew frustrated with Roger Corman continuously adding nudity to the film. Every day they show up and be handed script changes that involve more stripping naked. Total old white dude. Or total dude. Too old, whatever. DeLiso had to film the shower scene fully nude and only did it because she didn't want to be fired. She was relieved when full frontal shots of her were cut from the final film.
So
Yeah,
basically what we're
you're
saying
right.
is,
Yeah,
yeah,
1980. Yeah,
1980,
wasn't a contract thing. It was.
you were getting fired if you said no.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
This is why we have feminism. Although passed intact for cinema, the UK video release suffered 30 seconds of BBFC cuts with heavy edits to the drill murders, stabbing scenes, and the climactic death of the killer. The title was also changed to Slumber Party Murders due to the video Nasty Scare sweeping the country at the time. It was eventually passed fully uncut for DVD in 2003 with the original title restored.
2003.
It took until then for them to be like, yeah, Massacre's cool.
I remember talking to another author, and he was from England, and he was saying it was so frustrating in the 80s and 90s because of the video nasty scare in Britain
Yeah.
that they just edited the crap out of all horror movies.
Hmm.
And then when they finally dropped it and they were able to, he goes, you'd watch it and it would be like a whole new movie again. The film was originally written by Brown as a parody of the slasher genre, but was shot as a straightforward horror film instead. As a result, it contains more humor, both in. Did I not?
I
Did
feel
not
like you
say-
did.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want it? Oh.
Oh,
Once
okay,
Robert,
I'll do it.
you do it.
Okay.
You do it.
I'll
You do
do
it.
Once Roger Corman agreed to finance the film, Jones had to turn down a job editing Steven Spielberg's E.T. as a result.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to do your own movie, but you probably missed out on an Academy Award
Oh, that sucks balls.
because I guess Steven Spielberg wanted to hire her as she did a
Yeah.
bunch of editing before this and then got into writing after this.
Yeah.
So,
That's-
but apparently
wow.
she was a good editor.
Man, that sucks for her. I feel for you, Jones.
We're back at now. Okay, now we're back. Now we're into
Now we're
Slumber
in-
Party Massacre 2021.
Let's go 2021. Every film in the Slumber Party Massacre franchise is written and directed by women.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either, and it makes me feel good.
The pillow fight, yes. The pillow fight sequence is a reference to Slumber Party Massacre 2 from 1987. FYI, Slumber Party 2, as far as fans go, is the favorite of all
Is
of them.
it?
Yeah.
Most of Russ Thorne's dialogue is lifted directly from the original film. His wardrobe and mannerisms are also nearly identical. Nice.
Sounds like being lazy as a writer. Breenies
Sure, yeah.
or Brianni's Space Baby
Brianni's.
shirt is a reference to Kim's shirt in the Slumber Party Massacre from 1982.
So what I'm hearing is there's a lot of homaging happening.
Yep.
Premiered on the Sci-Fi Network on October 16th, 2021, though in an edited format since the network doesn't show uncensored films or shows, the unedited version will appear on the Blu-ray and streaming services.
Awesome. I was worried when I saw that it was a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
I was like, it might not be that great. Might not be that great anyways. Shout Factory obtained the rights to 270 of Roger Corman's Concord New Horizons library titles and opted to remake the Slumber Party Massacre in 1982.
Oh, wow.
So they have the rights to do, I don't know if
So
that's
many.
all of them, but yeah. He made a lot of movies in a short time.
Yeah. The filmmakers initially hoped to include cameos of actors from the first 3 films, but the COVID-19 pandemic delayed principal photography, South Africa, when production resumed at the height of the pandemic. Before rapid tests were readily available to the public, travel restrictions prevented anyone who wasn't a citizen from participating in the production. Oh,
That kind of sucks.
that does suck.
Yeah.
But also had no idea they shot it in South Africa.
No, neither did I until yeah. I'm like, I don't know how you're going to pass off South Africa as. The film was shot in 18 days. Fuck you, 1982. 3 weeks. We did it in just over 2.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
If this movie is even semi good, that is impressive.
That's super impressive. Jesus, 18 days.
18 days. All
That's
right,
crazy.
So that means woohoo! Tale of the tape for both movies. Okay, so Slumber Party Massacre 1982 is a horror movie rated R and comes in at a really fast 1 hour and 13 minutes. That's a short movie.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's really bad, then it's a long movie.
True.
Taglines. You bring the pizza, I'll bring the drill. Close your eyes for a second and sleep forever.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
The ultimate driller killer thriller. That's my favorite.
I kind of want that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that'd be a great t-shirt.
Right?
With the picture of the movie and then the ultimate driller killer thriller or on the back. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd buy that shirt. Synopsis. Okay. An 18-year-old high school girl is left at home by her parents and decides to have a slumber party. Good for you. Great decision. Meanwhile, a mass murderer with a propensity for power tools has escaped from prison and eventually makes his way to the party where the guests begin dropping off one by one. Now, tail of the tape for the new one, Slumber Party Massacre 2021, is a horror, not rated, but we learned that anything streaming is the unrated version. So the gore and all that will be replaced. And it comes in at a little more hefty, hour and 30 minutes.
They put in a little bit of filler.
Yeah.
From the original. Nice.
Taglines. You know the drill.
Kind of like that one.
Spend the night, die of fright.
Want that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Here's a synopsis of this one. Based on the 1982 original, this remake follows Dana and a group of her friends as they go on a trip to have a slumber party. How do you go on a fucking trip to have a slumber party?
Well, you drive someplace and then you sleep there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've had hotel slumber parties.
Yeah. Hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, good for you. You're putting in the effort to have a slumber party. But after car trouble causes them to stay at a secluded cabin, you can have a slumber party there. Their fun turns to terror as their night becomes a fight for survival as they must escape a drill-wielding killer. So they mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
A little different. It's not completely the same. Here's my most favorite. Actually, IMDb is my favorite. But first, we'll go the Rotten Tomatoes. 1982, 21 critic reviews, 43%.
Wow.
5,000 plus audience reviews, a little on the low side, 46%. So kind of close.
Yeah.
Here's some fresh. The Slumber Party Massacre wonderfully combines the suspense of its horror with its commentary on gender, creating a memorable slasher classic that began a horror trilogy entirely written and directed by women. Amanda Mazzillo, original score 4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Along with sharp satire and sharp commentary, Slumber Party Massacre is full of clever humor. Emanuela Betty, Bitch Media. That's just awesome.
I want to work there.
If you need a slasher flick, you could do worse.
Thanks, Ken.
Ken Hankey, 3 out of 5. Overall, a horror entry with a little something for everyone, except, of course, the humorless Rob.
Nice.
Score B. A gruesome, TNA-filled feminist tract about female fears of mature male sexuality. Nick Shagger, Lessons of Darkness, original score B. They're rotten. Slumber Party Massacre is not a great film. The plot is thin and the performance occasionally a little awkward, but there's no doubt that it maintains its shock value. I'll seat Mike McGranagan, 2 out of 4. Fans of the genre will find very little to appreciate here, while those who aren't fans will find even less. Unless you're desperately looking for a little TNA and blood, then it's best to stay away. Then it's best to stay away from this party. Jeff Beck, Examiner, 2.5 out of 5. You get what you pay for a title like this one. 3 out of 10. Wow.
Thanks, Scott.
Brown's script was reportedly a spoof of the slasher film, but what finally reached the screen was merely the same slice and dice nonsense. Matt Brunson, Film Frenzy, 1.5 out of 4. Okay, IMDb. I love these ones. These are like the people who watch the movies. 16,000 user rating, give it 5.6 out of 10. So there's a little bit from everyone here.
Yeah.
They're good. Greatest slasher film ever made. All caps, ever made. Seriously. The Dwarf, 10 out of 10. I figure we might as well give people the
credit.
The credit.
Yeah.
Some of these are gold. The best slumber party movie of all. Kida 117?
117.
9 out of 10. I didn't expect it to be so good. Ivan Ravenous, 8 out of 10. Truly entertaining, but deranged slasher flick. Oh shit, I can't see that.
Oh, hold on. Wait for it. Because I'm an old lady. Oh, Jared Koppel 34311.
There you go. You gave it 7 out of 10. Just So Terrible, It's Enjoyable. Conventory, 6 out of 10. Now we're going down.
Oh, jeez.
As bare bones as any slasher can get, and it still delivers. So Vomitron / G gave it 5 out of 10. Too cheesy.
Shut up. Leafwine.
Lefovine Draca,
Loftwine?
4 out of 10. The
Mm.
epitome of uninspired, the poor side of trash cinema. Stay _away _from _the _metropole.
It's the epitome. The epitome of uninspired.
What I say? The epitome.
Epitome.
Fuck.
I was
I
like,
tell you, I
feel-
write books. This is
I was
why
like-
my editor charges so much money.
No, because people look, I will tell you right when you're reading something like live
Yeah.
and you're speaking it while you're reading it for the first time, like out loud, sometimes words, hello, instead of shower, I said shower.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen.
This is why you see those news people totally fuck up their.
Yes. They were like, I'm just gonna sound it out. It's fine. It's not like it's a word I say every single day of my life. It's fine. Anyways.
Slightly more entertaining than a drill through the head. The Obvious under 35428. 2 out of 10. Okay, now I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
to not look at the screen, and I will type
Okay.
because the 1 out of 10s get their own screen.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm not looking at the screen.
Okay, first, a tragic waste of my time and money. N507 Matt, 1 out of 10. How does this have any fans? Question mark. Miho 2018, 1 out of 10. Wow, I don't even know what to say. Terrible movie. Gregory _Livingston, 1 out of 10. More like Dumber Party Massacre. Brittany Fox, 1 out of 10. And my favorite of all, do I have it here? Hold on. Yes. In the porn version, no one dies. And that's Jesse
Garrick.
Garrick?
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
Thank you, Jesse Garrick.
That was
Nobody
awesome.
knew that was what we needed.
Oh, okay. 2021. I'm baffled here. 19 critic reviews, 100%. Now, it
Damn.
must be said that just because it got 100%, that doesn't mean everyone gave it 10 out of 10. That's just, it was a positive review. 19 critics gave it a positive review. It could have been 6 out of 10 or what's fresh, 7? Something like that. But even still, 19 critics, 100%. 100. This movie's not well known. 100. A little over 100 audience viewers gave it 70%. So this has not found a huge audience yet.
No, but apparently a very appreciative one.
Yeah. Written by Suzanne Kiley or Kelly.
I don't know. That
And
eye is throwing me for a loop.
And directed by Danishka Esterhazy.
Yeah, sure.
The remake manages to outdo its predecessor with a hilarious, heartfelt, and terrifying modernization of the ways women now view each other. A+, Jen Adams, Rue Morgue magazine. Kelly's script is sublimely subversive without being too heavy-handed with the story's messaging, and the director has done a fantastic job of bringing this genre classic into our current times. 4 out of 5, Heather Wixon, Daily Dread. This remake pays respect to the source material while also understanding today's audience. It is a reminder of what makes slashers fun. 5 out of 5. Sherry Bohannon, Dread Central. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names. Slumber Party Massacre is a remake that gets just about everything right, powered by the cast of Final Girls who have a few things to say about horror's canonical treatment of women decades prior. Original score, what the hell is that? 4 out of 5.
Oh.
Matt Donato, What to Watch. Made that a little small.
Yeah.
2.8 to 2800 user ratings, a little more over on IMDb. Give it a 5.1 out of 10, a little less than the original. Reboot. There we go. Reboot with original's intentions and then some. Albert V79, 10 out of 10. Wonderful. Sadie's 02800, 9 out of 10. You'll actually like it if you're not an anti-woke crybaby. Yeah, Spagissinet. 8 out of 10. This one is from the person that actually gave the first one 6 out of 10. Okay, so you've got a large power tool. That don't impress me much. Conventry, 7 out of 10. This is my favorite. 6 out of 10. BA_Harrison puts the auger in slaughter.
Ooh.
I do respect what they were trying to do. Gizmo 386, 5 out of 10. Not good. Pedro Pyers 90, 4 out of 10. Totally unremarkable and not a single boob. Skip it.
Oh no.
3 out of 10. Lenny reviews. Genre, special ed horror comedy. Jobert 43688, 2 out of 10. And this guy hated it so much. Saint_Brett, 1 out of 10. Jason's mom is the killer. He referenced another movie out of disdain of this movie.
Damn. Saint Brett. Who hurt you?
I love IMDb. Get out of here.
Oh my god.
All right, so we did the tail of the tape. We did our reviews. We all that's left is to watch we'll watch one and then give our predictions, and then we'll watch the other and give our predictions. So let's do 1982 first. Turn the volume down in my headphones. I've made this mistake a couple times. Here we go.
The basketball team is planning a party. A slumber party. The party begins at 8 o'clock.
Love it too. Do you think I'm getting better?
But be on the lookout for an uninvited guest.
Please, please.
When the pizza arrives, things really start jumping. Some people may have to leave early, but others will hang around and hang around.
You're underage. You're not going to eat the dead guy's pizza. I feel better already. Really, I do.
But for those who stay, there'll be plenty of surprises and non-stop action. For sure, no one's getting any sleep the night of the Slumber Party Massacre. Close your eyes for a second and sleep forever.
Okay, my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a lot of this movie. I don't. I have seen it, and a lot of that does kind of look familiar. I'm not expecting Black Christmas. But from what I'm seeing, what I can remember, I am expecting more than, say, Return to Horror High.
Well, yeah. I should hope so.
But I think it looks like a pretty standard 80s slasher movie, but it looks okay. It looks like it'll be fine. Nothing jumped out at me and said, "Oh no."
Yeah. Like there was nothing in the trailer that made me think this is not going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a good time. I think I'm going to like it. I remember liking it, and I remember having a lot of cringe moments for the deaths.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if my memory is serving me right. So I'm like, I can't wait to watch it to see if the
Yeah.
deaths are still as uncomfortable as I remember them.
Yeah. Yeah. This looks like it just, I'm looking for fun horror
Yeah.
movie. Black Christmas, creep me the fuck out.
Yeah, because it's a
Like,
creepy ass movie.
yeah. But this looks fun.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we have the Slumber Party Massacre 2021.
Call me when you get there. I will.
Stop. Don't make eye contact. It'll give her an excuse to give safety advice.
Could you imagine if we got pulled over?
We're not getting pulled over.
We'll just invite the police to the party.
I think you have a leak in your radiator.
Our car is giving us issues, and we need a place to stay for the night.
Oh, you don't want to stay here.
We don't really have a choice. Well, guess it's time to start the slumber party. Alex, you're bleeding. It's not my blood. Check all the windows. What is going on? Now! No matter what he does, we are ready. Russ is alive and killing.
It feels very familiar with the 1982 one.
Yeah.
Like,
it does. It kind of reminded me of Black Christmas, the third one.
yeah,
where
the
it's
most
kinda
recent.
like, yeah. They obviously don't look like they're just and running
Yeah.
and hiding. They look like they're gonna, which
Fight
seems a
back.
little more realistic. But it
Yeah.
actually looks cool.
Yeah, I think you're still gonna get a very fun vibe from that one,
Yeah, like
which
it
I'm
looks.
excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited too, especially now that we know that it's just not sci-fi. It's actually
Yeah,
there's gonna be some gore.
there's gonna be some gore, and also the fun fact that every actress or actor in the movie is South African, because you had to be a
Really?
citizen. You had to be a citizen of
I bet it's
South
like
Africa
because of
because
the
it was during the
pandemic.
COVID. Yeah, so they're all South African.
Their accents didn't sound bad.
No, they sounded pretty American.
Yeah. Well, Charlize Theron's South African, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah. But so was what's her name from our class?
Liesel, no.
And Liesel.
Was she
Mm,
from South Africa?
I
I
think
don't know
so.
why I kept wanting her to be Austrian.
Austria? Well, she was white,
South African.
blonde, blue-eyed, but she was South African. And
Yeah.
she definitely didn't sound American.
No, she didn't. Her accent was adorable though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was she was really nice too.
She was super nice, and then she
Yeah.
went on and she did a lot of like cinematography, I think.
Oh, did she?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. She
Oh,
worked
cool.
she did a lot of like lighting work and then cinematography, and she kind of moved through there. I don't know if she's still doing it.
Hmm.
But Liesel, if you find this,
Yeah. How's it going?
get in touch. We
Yeah,
want to know what's up.
Yeah. You'll be I guess
Yeah. Join us.
yeah.
Let us know about your life. It'll be great.
Okay, so yeah. So
I think I'm gonna like both of these movies.
I think so too. And yeah, I think I'm gonna watch 82 first and then 2021, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, they both look like they're gonna be okay.
I'm very excited. I don't usually say this. Like I say, like I'm excited, but I'm kind of cautious about being excited. But I have a feeling this is actually going to be a fun, like back-to-back doubleheader.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for it.
Okay. So for the podcast, we are going to go and watch this, and when we come back, we are going to review this. I'm going to try to write this down and remember this for the first part of the review that we reviewed. Opportunity knocks. I keep doing that. Career opportunities.
Hmm.
Thank you for listening to the I Remember Liking That podcast. Please join us again next week when we review a new movie. just so I have that little clip to take.
Mm.
I am working on some stuff for our Twitter, Facebook to put on during we do this, just to have it. And I was also thinking about doing our. Actually, I'll talk to you in a minute. This is the live show. It's done. Go
Yes.
watch Slumber Party Massacre. It's on 2 places I found.
Crave
Plex?
and Prime.
Really?
That's
2021 or
both. I know
really?
2021 is definitely on Crave.
Okay.
And
It's
so
on
is
Stars.
1982. Well, Stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you get through Crave.
And it's on Prime?
It's saying that it's on Prime.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. And I know the first one is on Plex. 1982 one is on Plex, if you have Plex, and Tubi.
Nice.
Good old Tubi.
So we got options.
Yeah. Not getting burned. It's nice after spending that money on a career.
Still a little salty about it. I'm still
Yeah.
a little salty about it. Career opportunities, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All right. So that is our live part of recording the podcast. Join us next week where we review Slumber Party Massacre 1982 and 2021. And we will be previewing our Ode to the Drive-In, Weekend at Bernie's 2 and Mannequin 2. I think they're in the same year.
Oh, we'll find out.
But we'll find out.
We'll see if we were cursed or blessed with those movies in the same year.
Yeah, I can't wait. They're going to be so bad.
Probably yes.
All right.